I think one of the crucial things which really needs to grow and develop much more between government in general and businesses is a question of trust. And this is work in progress. And this is something which keeps happening constantly. And that needs to really develop. I mean, that this is the industry demand is something which is legitimate and which needs to be followed up and which needs to be done. What industry sometimes suffers from suspicion and people wanting to second guess because somebody has done something which is problematic. So that is one area which we have to develop. There's no perfection. Just as there's no perfection in government, there's no perfection in both places. So we have to find a way by which we actually make it easier. And the second element which happens is that I think there is sometimes a multiplicity of agencies which need to be consulted. And sometimes then what happens is each agency then is trying to balance between what it sees as its primary role and function and what it sees as its facilitative role and function for something else. If my primary objective is that I need to collect as much revenue as possible, now what should be my strategy in terms of collecting revenue? And I'm looking at a very short-term objective is, okay, I'm commissioner of this particular zone or of this particular area for a year. Now this year I have to make sure I meet my target. So there is a sort of a short-term goal in some of those, which again affects what happens with the longer term. So internally in government also those kind of issues sometimes come up. Of course, there are other, just as somebody on the other side wants to do something wrong, somebody on this side wants to do something wrong. There might be rent seeking and there are issues of that nature. And if they are brought up, then there is a way in which we can push through and see that that doesn't become too much of a hurdle. And there's a way. See, very often I'm asked, for instance, you have all these industry development, investment promotion organizations like Invest India or various states have their organizations, who do nothing but a kind of a liaison role between industry and various wings of government. They go there and say, look, this is the new investment. Will you support it? Normally speaking, you should not need an organization. Because each agency of government should be able to understand the broader context in which we are doing what we are doing and the way in which we can actually support investment.